Hello everyone and welcome to the second part of qualifying here at League of Europe Division 2. It's streamed on my channel. I have QVR Verstappen, QVR Daka is with me, but unfortunately there were some stream lag issues. So we have taken the decision to now get it on my channel and yeah, just get through with this at least. In the meantime, that may have missed, we have Ivar Mikras is now on pole position at 1:06.501, just in front of Slash, and there's 6 minutes and 25 seconds remaining in the session.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that in there, Verstappen. I'm terribly sorry to everyone for that inconvenience. Nothing we can really do about it, just my internet playing up at the worst of times. But we will move forward with it, and just at the session, wow, we are seeing the lap times coming down now. MMA Slash, huge lap there at 106.2, and that puts him right up the front. Let's see if anyone else is able to try and challenge those top times going around now. I believe we have, I think Arcolo's coming near the end of the lap there. He's 50.1. Those first two sectors, the Red Bull driver is on a very handy lap at the moment. You said he was fairly quick in qualifying last time out in Abu Dhabi. Is he going to get at least up to the front row here? I think he might. It is going to be second place there, not far off at all, very close in fact. So both Slash and Arcolo quickly moving up to the top. And I think we saw someone moving up, that was Bullet Boy I believe, going up into fourth place now. So we're seeing some of the lap times coming in. Rick is currently down in fifth place at the moment, as we saw another improvement, that was Scooter ASM coming over the line. So we're seeing these lap times coming in, field in general very, very close. But the man who needs to win this race, Hardy, currently down in 10th, having a bit of a tough time out there.
Yeah, definitely, and there's still 5 minutes remaining, so he may be able to improve, but look at the field, how close it is. I'll show you the gaps. Apart from the top two are 2 tenths clear of everyone else. From 3rd down to 17th, it's 4.5 tenths, which is just incredibly close. And it's very easy to improve a little, as Baki just goes up into P3, 7 fastest ahead of Mikras. So that is a good lap time from the pole. But yeah, it's incredibly close still between all these drivers. Skyzy is invalidated there, and Arcolo is just coming back into the pits. So I think one of the Ferraris will be the next one to cross the line. Spack, actually, I think he's going back into the pits as well.
Yeah, he's backed off there. You can see the ERS is turned right down. Bit of a quiet point in the session. We have 4 minutes to go. These drivers mainly just getting prepared, getting ready for their final runs out there on the track. Do we have anyone that's far along? I think everyone's mostly just heading back to the pit lane as it stands. So let's see there. I believe K-Mark, maybe the furthest along, is slightly up. Going to that second sector, gets a bit of oversteer there. Look at that oversteer, overcorrection on the exit, coming off of the big, coming off of Jude Shao there, but he's down. He must be, because he has opted to dive to the pit lane. Baki is the last car out on track now, goes in behind. So everyone in the field in the pit lane, and I imagine that means we're going to have a very busy track once everyone does go out for their final runs. We'll see if anyone's going to look to try and exit a little bit early. I'm seeing a couple cars emerging early on to get out of that pit lane. I think Mikras may be the first one out in the Williams. So of course we'll track these guys for a bit, and then we'll get into the final phase of qualifying, the critical stage where everyone in the field tries to put down the best lap time they possibly can here at Brazil.
Yeah, and one thing to note as well is that we're going to have a lot of traffic, of course, with probably 20 cars or near 20 cars on the track at the same time of such a short lap. It's going to be interesting to see how these guys handle that, especially the guys who are out of sync, maybe facing some traffic as well, such as Mikras and Skyzy, for example.
All it really takes is one driver to just back up a little bit, try and set up a better run onto their lap, and then you're going to be seeing, well, pretty much everyone backing up and slowing each other down, cooling each other's tyres down as well, which can hurt you really, going through the first sector of the lap if they're not up to temperature. I'm going to run you through a lap here. Mikras in the Williams lining up there. You can use that little bit of grass on the entry to Jude Shao to catapult your way on to a flying lap here at Interlagos. So let's see how the lap is there for Mikras, who's impressed so far. Currently sits fourth in the second row. Let's see if he's able to push that up to another new level. And to the centre is there, a little bit of a twitch on the brakes there for Mikras. Tries to gather it up, get a nice line going through turns 2 and 3, and then you're on your way yet again opening up that DRS. You come down the Retro Apostle. Now you're going to get on to the brakes. Into the seat of Del Lago. He is slightly down in the first sector. Needs to try and find a little bit of time throughout the rest of the lap. Now you gear it up for the entrance to a fantastic high-speed Berta Tour corner. Very tight line there. Use as much of the curb on the outside as you can. Then you're onto the brakes. There's second gear. You can use third there if you value your traction a little bit more. Heading now through the Pinarino, difficult traction. So now nurse that throttle and get out on the exit. Then straight, short shoot now onto the brakes. Into the Vigo de Paso. Run it out wide. Completely flat. Going through Magulo and then onto the brakes for the final time of the lap there. Still slightly down in the lap there, but it's a good run through Junchao for Cross, and he is only a couple of thousand, behind Baki out there on that second row, so he might find more time. No, he's not going to. Dives straight to the pit lane, does Cross. Next up over the line will be Mr. Skyzy, currently 9th. Where's the Frenchman go? It will be, no, he loses time in that last sector, and he's going to have to try and go again. So we're seeing the lap times flooding in now for Verstappen, but still Slash at that pole position. Can anyone topple him with just a minute to go here at quali?
Gonna have to see if anyone can do that job, as Brian is invalidated at the moment, maybe starting a lap. Is MMA Slash coming to the end of his lap? I think he is. No, he's just about to start one. Apologies, as Bullerboy has now retired the session. Scuderia Seb's coming across the line. He doesn't look like he's up. He might go for another lap about there. Then Niwa Luigi will be the next one, also invalidated. And Tinkan is just in behind. He'll be in the actual lap. He is jumping up slightly to P12. As I'm seeing the two McLarens with the slipstream here. Hardy's getting one off Sideman. Hardy's up into P3. That's really helped him. Sideman has sacrificed himself a little bit there, but in the good of his rivals, teammates championship. Apologies for that scramble of words. As Rick has gone up to P5 there. Good lap by him. And one of the Ferraris, I think that's Spag. He's only 17th. Baki has not improved a lot either. He's up into P5. Spacker is, I think, the next one to go through there. He is on to the inside of the lap. Let's see, can he improve? It's only likely the 17th. K-Mark in behind. He's still in the lap. 62 thousandths up. Can he get a position? He'll improve time, but not position. Again, Slash coming to the end of his lap. Can he improve his ball time? No, he can't. The two Renaults, I think it's going to be a Septius. He is coming across the line. Also, only P9. Niwa Luigi will be the next one. Can he improve? Into P12, just ahead of his teammate there. And now Tinkan into the pits. Maledictus is on an invalid lap, and I think the two Red Bulls are still on the lap. Arcalo is into the pits as well. I'm gonna have to see. Ryan is also into the pits. Exo Gary is also done, and I think it might be done for most of these guys. I think it might well be. So that sets MMA Slash on pole position ahead of Arcalo and Exo Hardy.
Yeah, you can see that slipstream tactic the McLaren guys were using. It was nearly enough for Hardy, but in the end, he falls just 0.03 of a second short. Far less than the time it takes to blink an eye. That's incredible. But margin's so small, but MMA Slash another pole possession. My oh my, the qualifying pace he has shown all the way throughout the season. That is rewarded with a pole in the final race. Can he grab a race window this time around? We're going to be a close eye on the progress of everyone around. I am absolutely sure of that. Slash on pole possession, narrowly in front of Arcalo. Another great qualifying for the Red Bull. Hardy just behind in third place. They're joined on the second row by Dylan. Better qualified from him. Baki and Rick round out the top 6 on the grid there. Behind that you have Nick Cross and Bullet Boy. The 4th row, 5th row is an all Renault affair between Scuderia Seb and Lando. Outside the top 10 with free choice attire for the race. And I have Gary and Niwa Luigi 6th row, Skyzy and Tidcan on the 7th row. In the 8th row you have Ryan Maledictus, and then you have Packer, Spag, and rounding off the field is K-Mark and Zonema. The top 18 is separated by 6.5 tenths. Incredibly close, and that's what you would expect, surely, from a track like Interlagos. But in the end, it is going to be Slash on yet another pole possession, but a track where DRS is so powerful. Does he have a chance of hanging on to it?
We're going to have to see if he can hang on to it. It's going to be a difficult task, for sure, but let's see if he can. As it's raining, this could be very interesting, and this could throw some spanners into the works for these drivers. I am seeing, I think it's intermediate in the pit garage box of the Ferraris there. So it's gonna be interesting if it stays those conditions or if it's gonna change to dry or even full wets. And it will also be interesting to see if drivers have chosen for dry or wet setups.
Yeah, of course. We'll see how much everyone will have compromised that. And lap times in qualifying in general were quite fast and about what I'd expect really from Division 2. So we will see, of course. But my indication is that maybe it will go to dries relatively soon. The rain doesn't look particularly heavy, I'd say, at this stage, but it could well evolve into that. There's no real telling, at least from our end. Of course, the drivers will have a bit more information than we do up in the commentary box. But yeah, we'll see how we're going to run with this. I imagine everyone's going to be on an intermediate tyre. No advantage for those outside the top 10 to gain off of that. And as you can see, the track pretty greasy, not soaking wet, not really any standing water, but it is going to be greasy, it is going to be slippery, and this could really change things there. The start could be very, very chaotic with all those cars barreling down into the Senna S.
Most definitely. So it's usually quite chaotic already when it's just dry conditions, but when it's wet it could be even worse or better. We're gonna have to see about that. Maybe drivers will be a bit more cautious because it's wet. And yes, Slash leading. If Kenny hold onto it, Arcola just in behind, and Hardy of course going to be eager to get past here because he needs that race win.
Yeah, he has nothing to lose though. I think that's a great position to be in. He's not going to lose second in the championship at the very least. He can just go for it, and that should be a spectacle to watch. How good is Hardy's launch off the line going to be? And if he doesn't get into that, what he's going to have to be facing is the wall of spray that the top two are going to be putting up straight off the line. Visibility is going to be very, very important, and you want to be leading out there, that is for sure. One thing, because you're streaming obviously, do you want to take the start or are you going to leave it to me for this one?
I'll take it for the start this time out then.
Oh, go on then.
Yes, the drivers just come through the final couple of corners. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Hardy will be eager, and let's see if Rick can stay out of trouble as well. He'll need to. He can't afford the no points finish. He has it basically in his own hands. If he can finish 11th or above, then he has it for sure. So we're gonna have to see. So the drivers just come for the final few corners. And drivers like Spag, of course, and Packer, if they can come for the field, Saitama as well, all the way down in last place. Gonna be interesting to see if they can get through the fields at all, really.
Yeah, certainly up at the back of the field. Of course, I know that Spag was very impressive in the wet conditions at USA, so keep an eye out for him, maybe try to charge through. The drivers are all going to have to focus on keeping all their pits on the car, keeping that front wing intact as the back of the grid now forms up. It's your show, Verstappen. Let's take it away. Let's get this final race of the season kicked off.
Yeah, it's just the final few cars lining up then, and we'll be going through this. Now the lights will be going on shortly then. They don't appear for me just about yet. I have to wait for them.
Oh no.
And I don't hope the lobby is glitched at the moment. That'd be a real shame as the 5 red lights are on. And away we go. And I think Arcla's stayed on the grid there. That's very interesting to see. But looks like Slash has a good start. Hardy is now down the inside of him. Can he make this one stick then? As Maddox is going to face a time penalty, as there's a bit of a collision at the back. There's a lot of things going on, and there's a safety car out now.
Wow.
That was a very chaotic start, and I have no clue about what happened. Half the grid almost have penalties for some collision of some sort. This is going to be very weird, because most likely they won't be able to get it removed either, as... considering the intermediates probably won't go the whole race, they will have to serve it in a pit stop. So the drivers with penalties, including Hardy, they will probably have to serve this.
What a very strange start there. I think it was Arcolo not moving off the line. Maybe it was a bit of lag, or maybe he just wasn't ready or something. I don't know, but he dropped well down the field, and I think that caused a bit of a concertina effect down there into the first few corners, which caused that contact that you saw near the back of the grid. I'd say the majority of the field have 5-second penalties, which of course they're going to have to serve at some point in the race. You can't just remove a time penalty, I'd say. So maybe you could see a busy pit lane. I imagine there's quite a few cars have chipped off front wings down there if they have had a coming to get that. I'm amazed at how quickly those penalties got racked up. That's rather remarkable. Let's see how everyone is going to play this though. You can see Slash, you'll obviously stay out in the lead. Rain looks pretty light at the moment. They're all just sitting tight at the moment, but it's not really coming down any heavier at the very least. And yeah, we are going to see quite a few drivers coming in on this opening lap, and let's see what they're going to go for on strategy. Is anyone could have possibly opt for the slip tires? I can't imagine some of these conditions.
No, they'll be going on those sort of inters, but there might be some wing damage, especially for guys at the back. And anyone who has penalties, it could be a strategy to maybe get rid of that already, so that they aren't stuck with that, especially someone who's like Spag, for example. I saw he was at the back of the grid. He is pitted on. He is stuck behind his teammates. Same with Skyzy. So I think both of the Mercedes and the Ferraris have time penalties, so they're going to have to wait a long time till they get back on the way. But it might be strategic to just get rid of that penalty, really, and then they might be able to go from scratch, basically, back up to the race and see if they can get back into the race.
Yeah, the safety car was a bit of a lifeline for those guys, but it's certainly not for someone like Exo Hardy, who with that time penalty is now going to really suffer because he doesn't want to give up that track position by pitting, and he's going to have to stick with it and serve that penalty later on. I'm not exactly sure why so many people got given those 5-second stop and goes. It's very, very unusual. I didn't really see anything from Hardy's end that would have justified that. So yeah, very, very odd, and it does mean he's going to have to live with that, and that could really hold him back. Look at the winners and losers of that start though. You can see some of the position changes there. So yeah, most of the guys up the front obviously moving up. Arcolo, of course, big standout, down 8 places after not moving really off the line. Rick up a solid start, up 2 places. That's going to, of course, serve him very nicely, and he's only 2 places behind his championship rival. And Rick increasingly looking like a heavy, heavy favourite to take it this time around. Remember, he only needs to finish the race effectively higher than 11th or higher to wrap up that championship, and Hardy to win with fastest lap in that case. So much pressure on the McLaren man's shoulders, but how much is he willing to push it then against MMA Slash, who we know as well in that wet race in America was very, very good, and was able to pull away really from the rest of the field. So Hardy's going to have his work cut out then, as of course you can see most of the guys at the back of the field will join the queue relatively soon. Penalty free, so we're now stuck with 4 drivers left in the race that have those penalties who are not willing to serve them. And if the field stays very close all the way through until we maybe get a dry period or until the enters wear out, that's really going to hurt them, because, you know, with the field generally so close around this track, 5 seconds could be a huge loss in position out on track.
It definitely can be, but if it does stay at least somewhat rainy, somewhat wet, the gaps will most naturally be bigger, and it'll be in somewhat benefit of those with the penalties still there. That being Hardy, Mikras, Arcolo and K-Mark. We're going to have to see what they do with it. I think we have 1 more lap remaining under the safety here, as the last few of Skyzy and Spag are still to catch up here. They'll be going through the back and see if they can get anywhere. I think there's something going on with Bullerboy's Ghost's car. I think he's left at some point, which may have hindered something, and I think K-Mark is trying to get by, but under the safety car that's a bit of a no-go usually. We're going to have to keep an eye on anything that causes that. But Slash will lead for now on lap 4 this is. There's 4 laps on the safety car, 32 remaining, long race to go still.
Yeah, and these drivers are all going to have to be careful, certainly, with managing those wet conditions or intermediate conditions. And what this does, really, is that it makes some of the corners around this track a bit more difficult than you'd expect. Cases in point, I'd say turns 3 and 5 that are going to be a bit more of a handful. They're barely corners in the dry in these cars, but in the wet, there's going to be a bit more thought about it, and you can never be too careful. And if you're too aggressive, then why oh my, you could be finding yourself eating a face full of walls, as we saw way back in real life in 2003 at this track, when so many drivers crashed out of the race at that third turn because of the wet conditions. It's a corner that these drivers wouldn't even value in the drive. Here in these rather damp conditions out there, it is certainly going to be a bit more of a challenge. The field has now converged ahead of the safety car restart, so Slash will get us underway. And of course, yeah, you can see that call made by race control, so Slash is now free to back up the pack. To what extent will he do this? When will he go? He's going to have to be careful applying the throttle not to spin up those rear tyres, otherwise he could be at the mercy of slipping well back on this restart. Of course, their tyres are all going to be cooling out there on the track, as Slash still biding his time. You can see Dylan running a very wide line there in third place. They're going to try to slingshot through, as now they get back to racing here on lap 4 here in Brazil, and Slash shooting off to the front, and he's going to maintain that racing. We immediately have yellows back there in the pack, and I'm not sure that was, I think Spax dropped off a little bit. You can see everyone trying to form into the line. A few position changes further back. The Bullet Boys AR car predictably slipping back a little bit there. You can see Zeta moving through Lando, struggling for traction back there, and I think Lando's actually gone off slightly there. You can see him running off. That's now Dylan on Hardy down the inside. He is up into that second place. Dylan goes through, and Hardy trying to go back at him up towards Ferratura, but there's not going to be a way through it. Dylan claims that second place. Slash straight up into the lead, and now Rick has his championship rival right there in front of him. This is working out perfectly for Rick. He just has to stay with it. Now a penalty for Lando. How many penalties are we seeing in this race at the moment? But now Hardy did it to third with a penalty. Slash running away at the front at the moment. It is all playing into the Flying Finn's hands.
It definitely is, and I think those penalties are for ignoring yellow flags. It's the whole track of the yellow flag on it, but there's still some overtaking going on. So Kmart picking up one as well, so we're going to have to see if those guys can get that removed, but it's looking unlikely as Rick is onto the back of Hardy now. Gonna have to see if he can get a move on, or is he gonna stick in behind? 3/10 is the gap, and he looks to be having a bit of a worse run through onto the straight. Slash with the fastest lap predictably, with a 1:18.2, but has just Dylan 1.2 seconds behind. But can Slash run away with this, or is Dylan gonna be able to pressure the Alfa Romeo more?
See if he can get to that DRS, which we know Slash is pacing up. Looks like the rain is beginning to ease off here at Interlagos. I can barely see it. I think it's very, very light out there. And I wonder if anyone's going to be brave enough to go in early. Maybe not this lap, but in the next couple. As the rain continues to ease off, looks like we will be going to the slick tyres relatively soon. So stay with us, folks. This could really swap around here in the pit stops. And it's still so close. Hardy's going to lose out hugely through this pit stop phase, as will we cross behind him. Further back in the field, you can see side by side through turn 7 there. As Zoudema battling with Tin Can. And the Racing Point does have to yield that one and back off at the moment. You can see them all bunching up the road as well. Maledictus under pressure from Lando, who goes down the inside there, and there's contact between them. Maledictus moved over on the Renault, covered it off, and Lando was caught out as now Luigi slips past there as they head into Bagullo. He has to get out of that one, does Lando, and he's now down into 14th place, race winner from last week, having a tough time of it here at Brazil. Let's look further up the field, because Scuderia Seb looks to have a bit of a run on Baki lagging a little bit further forward, getting him a few extra meters, a few extra car lengths, and will be enough at the moment to maintain that 5th position. But the track for Verstappen is certainly drying up. These drivers will surely be in soon, the rain all but over, and what the strategy's call is going to be, who's going to be the bravest, who's going to go in first and try and get an advantage by going on to the slicks very soon.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to have to see if anyone is going to be going for maybe an early stop onto the slick tire, and maybe try and get through and get an undercut and maybe get past a few other competitors. Gonna have to see as a Slash, gotta say, impressive pace at the moment, 1.7 seconds ahead of Dylan, who is on its own 8/10 ahead of Hardy at the moment. Hardy is not really enjoying these conditions, it looks like so far. We're gonna have to see, maybe he is more favored towards the dry conditions coming, at least look like it is coming quite soon.
Yeah, these drivers will be gaining confidence, but they'll also be gathering up some tire temperature on these enters now. And the track, the rain is completely stopped by now. The track certainly does not look particularly damp, and I'm looking to see any pit stop. Slash is coming in from the lead. No, this is back now. Slash has been brave here, and he is going in. It looks like most of the guys behind are staying out, so this is very, very ambitious from MMA Slash. McCrath gets a 5-second penalty. That's the second one of the race, I think. So he's going to have to serve these in later pit stops. But now, we're going to have a moment of truth. It's going to be hard tires for MMA Slash. He will get out. Wow, getting right there with the Williams, but this is going to be so crucial. Slash on hard. He's going to look to try and get to the end of the race, but how much grip is out there? It looks to be really struggling. Those tires are going to be cold. Can he get these tires switched on? This is a huge gamble from Slash.
It definitely is, and definitely with those hardest competitive tires, still get up to temperature the least compared to softs and mediums, which is the Spa, K-Mark and Packer variating between. They'll get up to temperature quite a bit easier, I reckon, than their competitors, and Slash may have to look out for some grip loss in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating to keep track of, but Slash is losing time to Bullet Boy to that second sector down in there in 14th place. So looks like the guys at the front are going to be gaining, but they need to time this right. They need to come in on the right lap. Will it be this lap? We're watching Dylan. Hardy still staying with him. DRS will surely be activated very soon as that set him off there. Ferradura dropping down into 19th place. Now what's happened to the McLaren there? He's off, but I think he's lost some of his front wing as well. I'm not exactly sure what is going on there. He looks pretty much fine, but yeah, we are now seeing the DRS being activated. Pit stops now. Back here, Maledictus here in on lap 8.
And Maledictus getting a time penalty, but yeah, I think Spa came into contact with Sadema, if I saw that correctly. We're gonna have to see if that gets any investigation, but I don't see that. And meanwhile, Baki's coming out of the pits, and look where Slash is. I think this is going to be very close, and it might even be in favour of Baki, as he is on the soft competitive tyres, and his hards have not gripped up too well, I think. And yeah, Baki is going to be ahead, so the Alfa Romeo has jumped up from 5th place all the way to provisional first, of course, depending on how Dylan, Hardy and Rick get on this lap, really, and if they can jump up.
Slash's tires are not in the operating window. You can see how much he's struggling there. Even down there at the scene of the Lago, he was running wide, and he's running wide again, going through Ferradura. So Slash Slash is going to lose time back. He can pull away from him at the moment. He's already got those tires more switched on than his teammate by the looks of things. But of course, he will surely have to make one extra pit stop. That can really change things. What are the strategies going to be like? This should be busy pit lane. Dylan and Hardy and Rick, and they're all going to come in here on the pit entries. Everyone going to get nice and slowed down. Yes, they will at the front of the field. So now we can have an incredibly busy pit lane. Let's see how the order is going to shake up. Hardy's getting held. He's getting held up to the McLaren box, and he's got a 5-second stop go as well. So that is, of course, going to be contributing to that emergence. But he slipped way down the field. Now we saw that coming. Now let's look up the front there. XL Dylan, has he stayed out long enough? They're all in hard tires. Back, he needs to jump quite a few of them at least, but it looks like he's going to struggle. Dylan getting a massive slap of moments there, going through that pit lane exit, but he will emerge. He will emerge in front of everyone behind. Backy behind has a runner. It's going to race him. Is he going to go to the outside into the Sino Lago? That's cut off by Lorenzo. But how well those hard tires going to grip? The answer is not very well. Backy gets up and alongside and through into 5th place. He needs to make that strategy work. He needs to fly up through the field now. Let's see if he can challenge the race leader. Still out there on track. Tin Can and Skyzy, they're going to be hugely suffering surely out there. They run together on the track, but these hard tires, as soon as they grip up, they should be an awful lot faster. But I'm not seeing a huge time gain, but it does look to be just about there. Surely Tin Can and Skyzy will be in on this lap, and we'll have an entire field now on to these slicks. The crossover point has come and gone, and let's see now. These guys now in a bit more of a fight on net pace, heading out there on the track. But back he is flying. Those soft tires, a massive grip advantage over the hards, which are probably not up to temperature just yet. And back he on the attack again on Rick. Look at the closing speed. That's phenomenal. The Alfa Romeo now up into 2nd place. Dylan now leads the way out there, but the extra gap back he has. Surely the Red Bull driver has almost nothing to fight with here.
It doesn't look like he will be able to hold on, as Spack has set the fastest lap of the race at the moment. But Baki 3 tenths behind Dylan. You'll surely think there's going to be a move continuing on this lap. Stinkan is just emerging behind MMA Slash. MMA Slash has dropped down to 8th position, and it might be even 9th. Stinkan, Baki is going for the race lead indeed. Randy outside of turn 6 and 7. He is looking to make that work. Yes, he has. That's a good move by the Alfa Romeo. Sorry, didn't really catch on to that. But Slash is all the way down in 9th. With Hardy in 6th, and Rick is doing well in 3rd place and is looking for a good move. Maledictus and Hardy are side by side now. Maledictus going round the outside of turn 9, and now it's Tinkan looking down the inside of Hardy as well on those soft set of tyres, and he is passed into 7th place. Hardy losing 2 positions in 2 corners there and is not really getting up to pace at the moment just yet.
Yeah, he's really suffering then amongst these soft butters. The extra grip they have is phenomenal. Maledictus hesitated behind Gary. Now Tinkan has a phenomenal one. Can he get to the inside? Can Tinkan get turn 1? Here we go down the main straight. He goes down the inside. And now he and Maledictus are side by side momentum with the Ferrari. But the inside line will be with the Racing Point. Late on the brakes. Tinkan forces Maledictus out winding off the road. Maledictus cuts across. Gary trying to fight back now, and Tinkan gets spun out of road. Maledictus was forced out there, and he's got a penalty for his troubles now as well. Now Hardy coming back at Gary to the inside of the AlphaTauri, and Gary has to yield it. He has to back out of it then. Ryan now, wheel to wheel, Skyzy ready outside of 4, getting squeezed out there, and the Racing Point will just hold on to it. Fierce racing down in the midfield here at Lagos, as we would have expected. The conditions are still not optimal. These drivers are still trying to find the grip out there, and you can see the soft tyres really offering a massive advantage in these conditions. Maledictus is flying, Tinkan is flying, and now they get up to the back of Scuderia Seb. Can the Renault possibly hold them back? These soft runners are on an absolute charge at this stage.
Yeah, in the meantime, Baki has got 2-second gap on to Dylan at the moment as well. So Baki's really making inroads here, and will have to get the gap to the pit stops. But Tinkan's now looking onto the back of Maledictus, going on board with him. The overtake is on for both of them. Now turned off. Maledictus is going to go for the move on Scuderia Seb instead. Can he make this one work? As Tinkan is looking to get through as well. Maledictus into 4th. Tinkan is just forced his way past Scuderia Seb there into 5th place. And Maledictus has a bit of a moment. Tinkan looking around the outside of turn 3. Verstappen has move, and now DRS is open for the Racing Point and looks to be passed into 4th place. Brilliant double overtake by Tinkan in the space of a sector.
Superb opportunistic driving, and in the end, Maledictus without that DRS had no answer to hold it back, and Tinkan now up in the 4th place. And let's see this alternate strategy, how well it's going to pay. These guys can push to Old Worth, they know, but how much can they make up? Can they get that pit stop gap that they need? In terms of the championship battle, well, we saw Hardy get shuffled back a few laps ago. That stop and go that he picked up as well he's really made him suffer. He now sits down there in 7th place and nowhere near Scuderia Seb up in front. So oh my, he's really struggling. Now Slash gets alongside Gary, heading into Jun Shao, the inside line with the pole center, but Gary holds it round the outside. Can he get better traction? They almost touch as the AlphaTauri moves across, and Slash heads get out of it. Now Ryan looking to the back of him there, pulls to the inside line as we now go over the line there. They're going to go 3 into 1 maybe. Ryan trying to go down the middle, round the outside goes Slash. Gary backs out of it on the inside line. Slash breaks very right, locks it all up, and Ryan gets the ball. Sensational from Excel Ryan. He now runs in, and in the end Slash couldn't quite make the progress he wanted there. Spack gets alongside Skyzy, wheel to wheel contact between Ferrari and Mercedes. Spack getting through, he's got to charge now on those softs, gets alongside Gary, squeeze to the inside of turn 5, squeezes Gary back on the outside, and has that moved on up in the 10th place, turning in to Ferradura. The racing in the Smithfield fight is phenomenal. These guys are absolutely going at it, giving it everything in this final round of the season. The Softwares continue to charge. Tinkan and Maledictus trying to get up to Rick and Dylan up ahead. Baki's lead at the top. It's 3 seconds now. How much can he make of it, and how much can he charge at the end of the race on another fresh set of tyres to cap off the race?
Yeah, and just to note, pit stop will be around 18-19 seconds around here. Casey's onto the back of Gary at the moment, coming out of June. So can he get a better exit back? He has to fall to the lap of the race with a 1:13.3, and I see Arcolo going around out of Jun Sao, and he has just managed to keep it onto the grass. Spack is getting past Slash for P9 in the meantime. On the soft tyres, he has to make inroads, and Casey in behind. He's down the inside of Gary, and he is passed as well for P11. Good move from the Mercedes man. Is Gary going to be able to fight back though? He's onto the back of the Frenchman. DRS is open for the Irishman, not for the Frenchman, and has to stick it in behind though. Gary says Skies has defended that quite well, and he's up at the P11.
Skies with slightly fresher tyres will look to try and chase down Slash, who's really struggling out there, living with some of the drivers on fresher tyres around him. That pit stop really cost him there by making that brave decision. He's got so much work to do to even get near the podium in this race. Let's see how the battles are going on both there, because Hardy is really struggling out there. He doesn't have any visible damage, but he just doesn't seem to have the pace, the outright speed just isn't there that we've seen all season from Hardy. And now Ryan, in particularly Spag, will try and hone in on him. Can Spag get a little run? He gets a great run through Junchao, but struggles a little bit to put down the power on Ace, and then Ryan may well just live another day up at the front. Tin Can is now up to the back of Rick, and can Rick, the championship leader, champion elect at this point, can he hold it back? Let's see now, coming over turn 3, it's a good exit from Rick, but the extra grip, now the DRS, he has a little bit of movement taken to his disposal as well, and Tin Can to the inside will get him in a third place. Another great move from Tin Can. Water showing this speed so far. Now it's back, lining up Ryan to the inside of the scene of the Lago, breaks a little bit later than the Racing Boy, who tries to pinch him to the inside, but it's futile. Spag moves through, he now runs at 8th place. Ryan down to 9th, Slash trying to come back, trying to be revitalised in this race, but he cannot get past Ryan. Spag now up there. Hardy surely will struggle to hold him back, and what just a horrible race it's been for the championship contender so far, now in 7th, and you said surely Rick in 4th place will be 2nd once the software has come in. You said he's almost there, and the championship is all but wrapped up if he can just keep it going to the flag. Rick looks like champion with just 20 laps to go here in Brazil.
Of course, there is still more than half the race to go. Backy is flying at the moment, 1:11.8. Tin Can as well with that DRS pass, of course, getting the fastest lap taken away from him at the moment. Slash is onto the back of Ryan and looks to be passed quite easily there. Is Ryan going to fight back? No, he isn't. And Slash is up at P9. Landa's getting past K-Mark in the meantime for P15. Landa's not having the best time of his life at the moment. And Ryan is coming back at Slash, actually. You've just seen this. Slash is just about to head still. Ryan has a wheel alongside. Can he make this one work? Gets pinched to the apex. Can't make it work. Spag is onto the back of Hardy as well. Up ahead. Can he make the move work? But not just yet into turn 6. And has to stick it behind the McLaren for now.
You can, with Spag, you never know when he's going to throw a move at the inside. Let's see what he hopes for here in that Ferrari. Hardy, of course, struggling a bit more progress. These soft tyres will be aging, but they'll still have a bit of life left in them at the moment. A few laps until they really start falling off the cliff for these guys. The track not completely rubbered into the tyre, where maybe it'll be a little bit higher. We'll see how that is going to work out then. Punching off the last corner is Hardy. He's giving it everything to try and get up to Scuderia SM, but he's having to defend all the time from the drivers behind. And now Spag surely has a run. We have yellows near the back of the field. I think that may well be K Martin that's going off, as now to the inside, Spag braking down the inside. Hardy breaks very, very late, trying to hold it right inside of 1, inside in a turn 2. Spag pinches him to the inside, lying a heart and mouth moment for Exo Hardy, as Spag gave him no quarter there, and he had to get out of it. Spag up in the 7th place with a feisty sequence of moves, clears the train, can now try push up to Scuderia SM up the road, and the train's still intact there. It runs all the way down to Skyzy. Down there in 11th place, they are all still with this, but further up the front now, XL Tin Can on the attack yet again, up behind Dylan, and his pace at the moment there, Tin Can, he looks even faster than Backy, leading the race at the moment.
Yeah, he just set the fastest lap, which is 2nd faster than Backy's fastest lap. So Tin Can looking quite impressive here at the moment, and is onto the back of his XL teammate Dylan. Is he going to make it hard for the Racing Point in behind? Overtake is engaged quite a lot for the Racing Point, 4 tenths behind. Can he close up to the Red Bull? Is he going to be close enough for a move down into turn 1? He's closing down the inside, fastest lap, 1:10.3. He is going to be in the inside there. Wow. And is passed. Good move from Tin Can. This is best we've seen from him all season. And he is now looking to push towards Backy, 3.2 seconds. He has to defend for Dylan for a bit, but Dylan is just sticking in mind. Lando, 1:10.1 on hard set of tyres. That is impressive to see, to say the least there. And he is looking to recover a little bit from his early stages of the race, which weren't too great for him.
Yeah, now runs into that 14th place, just behind Gary and Neil Luigi, two exceptionally experienced drivers down there fighting over 12th place. Such is the standard been in this race so far, and it is still so incredibly close throughout the majority of the field. You can sense maybe the softs are starting to wear just a little bit. Spag hasn't been able to break away from Hardy. He's staying right there with him, but he isn't catching Scooter ASM at an immense rate of knots at the moment. Still just sitting in a bit of a DRS train at the moment. You can see Slash is beginning to line up on Hardy. I don't think either of these guys were expecting to be where they are at this stage of the race after their qualifying sessions, but they're going to have to make the most of it now, and they may well go to war out there on the track, because Slash has a phenomenal run on Hardy. It's going to go round the outside over the line. I don't think Hardy's really going to fight this one. Can he fight this one? Straight through goes MMA Slash into the braking zone in the last corner, and Hardy has no answer. Down into 9th place, Slash up into 8th. Spag now in 7th, trying to hold on. In front is now Gary and Neil Luigi side by side. Gary squeezes him out on the exit, but it is not over just yet. Now DRS back in order for the Belgian, trying to close in. Does he go to the inside? K-Marks them out of the race. That's exit of turn 1 there, as now round the outside Neil Luigi gets forced almost off the track by Gary, but he has the inside line. Fantastic for Neil Luigi. Can he seal it off? Can he seal it off? Gary trying to hold it all the way around the outside of turn 6 and 7. Now breaking for turn 8. He's still there as Gary. That's phenomenal. Inside line. Now heading into turn 9. Gets squeezed in there by Neil Luigi. Holds on, and now Lando is lining up Gary into Vigo Tabato. Just hangs back for the moment. Incredible racing from two drivers, getting an immense amount of perspective. Neil Luigi, a fantastic move up into 11 past the Irishman. Can he push on? Will Gary try and fight back over this battle over P12?
And I've seen some faster left from the hard runners at the moment, and I think the hards might be getting faster at this rate in the race, and the softs might be dropping off. In the meantime, Lando is onto the back of Gary. Towards the outside he goes. Is he going to be able to get past here? Yes, he is. He is past. The one, Gary sticks his nose just about in, but has to yield and gets a little bit in contact with the Renault up ahead. Mikros is now looking towards the inside as well. Is he going to be able to snatch the position from the Irishman? No, he isn't, and has to stick him behind there as well.
The reigning champion having a really tough time of it, staying with these fresh new drivers here in Division 2. He's not had the season he was after, of course, after being demoted from Division 1. Did get one race win this season, of course, but it has not generally been the best of showings, and he gets a penalty, I believe, down there. They're not actually showing up for me in the notifications, but I am keeping track, and we do see now that we have currently 5 drivers in the field that have penalties. 2 stop and goes from Maledictus and for Mikros, and we got 3 second time penalties for Lando, Gary and Arcolo down there in 16th at the moment. You can see the field roughly still in a line throughout most of it, but you are seeing now, as now I was just mentioning, the stops going off. Spag pulls to the pit lane in the Ferrari, and he is down on fuel, so he's going to have to save in this last stint. But let's see where he's going to emerge and how far can he charge. Of course, it's not been the race he was after. Soft tires will go on again, and it does mean that now I'm expecting we're going to get a lot more pit stops very, very soon. Lando now, lining up Neil Luigi, down the back straight down. The Retro Pasta does get through, up into that 11th place now in front of Neil Luigi. And now you can see Spag, he will emerge in 16th position. How far can he charge? The fresh soft tires under him. He'll have immense amounts of grip in that Ferrari. Where can he go? Can he get anywhere near the 7th place he was occupying before he came into the pits for the final time?
We're going to have to see, and we're going to have to see as well if Maledictus Tinkan back. He will go on to another set of softs pretty soon, which I'm expecting they do. So Arcolo picked up another 3 second time penalty. Slash stays out, Baki stays out at the moment. Tinkan stays out. Maledictus might be going in, I reckon, as his teammate just went previous lap. Yes, he is, and he's going to have to serve the 5 second time penalty, so he might be near his teammate actually.
Yeah, I think the gap was maybe around that sort of region. So yeah, I think that's a very good shout there. As look at Sky, you can see Skyzy now down the inside of Ryan there. Ryan's going to fade it back. The right outside pitches him right into the inside line. The Mercedes is forced out there, and Ryan does reclaim that position. Now, run and exit for Skyzy. Going down the outside, gets forced almost onto the grass. Almost no space left, but he is able to squeeze his way through out of the race. And Marcolo's had enough there, having a disaster off the front row yet again, and he now is out of the running. here at Interlagos, not the season finale. He was after, you can absolutely guarantee that. So surely Baki and Tenkan, they'll be coming in the next few laps. Neither of them have stop and goes to serve, so they can just have a straight run to the flag. And how far can they go? Dylan may well inherit the race lead, but he's coming under immense pressure now. Rick is starting to come back to him. Is this going to be the title fight for the win that we're looking at?
It could be, as Baki and Tenkan are both heading into the pits. They look to be staying clean on the pit entry. Yes, they will. And I reckon a new set of softs will go on for both. Yes, to confirm that. And we're going to see their charge pretty soon. Slashes onto the back of Scuderia set for the podium position at the moment. And he is looking quite facing, quite quick again. The Alfa Romeo driver, as he's been all season. Can he make a move towards P3 now? Overtake is engaged. DRS is open. This should be a relatively easy move. And yes, he is down the inside. The Alfa Romeo goes, and he'll now look to push on. But the top two are a bit too far away at the moment. 9 seconds between Rick and Slash.
Yeah, interesting to see how far he can get up to in there, if he can close it at all. Baki has emerged, he's 10th place, he's right at the back of this train. And I think that, well, I think a podium is certainly in reach for the pole, I'd say. The field is so close up to 3rd place that he can make huge inroads now. But he gets a bit of oversteer there, heading in to turn 9. He's got to try and keep that one all together. But Neo Luigi surely isn't going to offer much resistance here. 13 lap hold hards against brand new soft tyres. Surely the difference is going to be immense in that battle over 9th position. I'm keeping half an eye on the race leaders there. Dylan is holding on just about in front of Rick, but can Rick Capo, which is looking increasingly like a championship season, win the race, win here the final race. Baki now is on the attack already, to the inside of Neo Luigi, parallel over the line, but to the inside. Baki will get the move to much more grip at the Alfa Romeo driver's disposal. He now runs 9th. Next up on his hit list is XL Lando, who runs at 8th. At the moment, they're P8 out there on the track. Up at the front, Rick is honing in on Dylan, but Dylan has done a great job of saving ERS. He has 70+% that he can use in his defence. So that battle over the race went certainly not over. Dylan is going to put up one hell of a fight, I am sure. Can Rick get up to him with just over 11 laps to go? Here in Interlagos, can Rick cap it over the winner? Will Dylan hang on after what was looking like a championship campaign? Fell away from him in the second half of the season, but can he round it off with a big one here? But Rick surely is going to give it his all and pile the pressure onto the Red Bull.
And the overtake is now engaged for the Finn, and he's looking onto the back of Dylan, but he's not going to be close enough, I reckon. He is closing in though on the Red Bull, but I don't think he's close enough. He's just about catching on to him at the apex of the corner, but Dylan just about stays ahead there and gets a way better exit onto the next DRS straight, and Rick won't have a chance at overtaking at all. Meanwhile, we're going to have to see if Tinkan has now closed up to the back of this train as well. Fastest lap for the race in point, 108.6, which is significantly faster than it already was with 109 flat that Slash had early on those hard set of tyres. So the softs are quite a bit better, but let's see how much better they are coming laps.
It is still, no matter what the situation is, very difficult to overtake in a DRS train at this track. The DRS train is exactly what we have in the field, so evenly matched from third downwards. It is barely broken up since the safety car restart. It has been incredibly close, incredibly competitive, so let's see how this is all going to unfold. Who's going to be close to a move there? I can see Tenkan's now lining up Cross, who lines up Gary in the meantime. So those three getting very tight up there on the track. Tenkan looks pretty fast, but Baki at the moment not making the progress that I was maybe expecting. He is still having to sit in that DRS of XL Lando just up the road. But Tenkan, though, he does have a good run. So does Mr. Skyzy, actually, just up the road. He's going to the inside of Hardy. Can the Mercedes driver get through there? Can he get it stopped and turn in? Yes, he can. Parks it on the inside of turn 1. And we'll see it through. Can Hardy fight back at him, though, as they head now down the back straight towards the City of the Lago, to the inside. Hardy is going to fight back. Can he seal it off though? He has. The inside lane forces Skyzy right up onto the grass. As now, wheel to wheel, Ryan, Lando, side by side through turn 5. He's going to get squeezed out there as Ryan, but he will follow it through. As now Baki trying to look down, right outside Lando, almost runs out of roads, but he will just stay on and he will keep in front of the 9th place Alfa Romeo, who is still frustrated. He hasn't looked at the inside of 9. That was never going to open up. So he's being held back here as Baki
Hardy, and you can see Ryan and Lando having a brilliant ding-dong battle, as is Hardy and Skyzy. The battle's shaping up all the way down the field, but still, Rick biding his time off at the front. Dylan hanging on to it, but how much longer can he go do that now, with 9 laps to go here in Interlagos?
We're going to have to see as Tinkan in the meantime got past Gary and Mikros at one go, but back he's now onto the back of Lando. He's going to look towards the outside. It's almost out of ERS. Rick has a run, you're saying.
He was looking at it, yeah, but he's just hanging back for the time being. Skyzy, though, is able to get past Hardy, and I think he will keep it this time. Neil Luigi's got past Baki. Baki must have made a mistake, and now he drops into the clutches of Tin Can. It has been a disaster on these softs so far for Baki. I said it maybe will be a potential podium, and it's certainly not looking that way as it stands at the moment. Looks like he's going to have to settle for a bit of a lowly points finish if he cannot really turn things around in these last few laps. But they still battle away up at the front. Dylan in front of Recuric. That's still how it stands. And Hardy still trying to hone in on Skyzy in that battle over Fett. The battle's still raging on. It's been an entertaining final round of the season here at Brazil. 8 laps to go here in Interlagos. Can Dylan hang on to get another brilliant victory this season? Rick, though, you can bet he's going to put up a fight. They are still so close to the race. The battle's still raging out on track.
It definitely is. We have 8 laps to go indeed, and still a huge train in the middle of the field, really. Gonna have to see as Landa is now looking at Ryan again. He's down the inside, he's passed quite easily there for 7th position. Tinkan is onto the back of Baki, he's not gonna make a move. Mikras on the other hand is down the inside of Gary for the last points paying position. Side by side, they go for 2. Gary gets the upper hand there, but Mikras is still holding on there. Still side by side, they go through turn 3, and who has the DRS? I think they both might have that. No, Gary doesn't. Actually, hang on.
I'm not exactly sure what's happened there with Verstappen, but we'll keep going there. But Cross, brilliant. Gary left in minute amounts of space, but he found his way through. Now runs in that 12th place. I'm hoping the camera's keeping up there. I think there was a bit of an interruption for Verstappen. I think he is now just about back with me now here in this race here at Interlagos. There you are. We can start working the cameras again, start working the comms as we now head into the final stages of the season. It's been an enthralling season, an enthralling championship fight that is going the way at the moment of Recuric. Surely Hardy cannot pull it back from this position now. Rick has been imperious in these last few races, podium after podium. He has delivered here in the second half of the season when it looked like it looked like Hardy had the momentum, but in the end he's able to pull through further down the field. Baki now trying to go back on the attack down the inside of Neil Luigi. Can he get it stopped and turn in? He's jumping all over the place as Baki round the inside gets forced off the road by Neil Luigi. Emerges still side by side, but Ted Gunn is right there. Can Ted Gunn look down the inside? He's going to get squeezed right to the grass, but can he get this one done? He's going to run it back to the outside line as Baki can't hold it all the way around the inside, gets forced up there by Ted Gunn. Is it another sensational double overtake? It is! Wow, Ted Gunn up in the 9th place again, so opportunistic, but I think he's just picked himself up a penalty there on the inside of Ferratura. Now runs in front of Baki, but suffering with that penalty as well. Brilliant though from Ted Gunn. Baki forced the move, did everything he could, but he could not hold Ted Gunn back now to 9th place. But these soft runners just haven't made the inroads they needed to, and I think with just 6 laps to go in this race, they're going to struggle to make much more progress now in Brazil.
It definitely looks like they're going to struggle quite a bit more than. It's still the battle rages on for the lead as well. Dylan up ahead of Rick. Still, Rick has now got the overtake on. He's closing up towards the Red Bull. He's now going to go for it. Is he going to go inside, outside? Outside it is for Williams. Can he make this one move stick? He can't. Just about. Dylan stays ahead there. Can Dylan hold on? Yes, he can for now. Rick has to gonna try again.
The first strong attack from Rick, this one covered off by Dylan. You said how much he wants this one. Aggressively breaking late, but he did just enough to hold it off nice and cleanly. And Rick will have to try and come back later on down the road. We're going to be keeping a close eye on this one. It's going to surely go through many twists and turns in the final stages of this Brazilian Grand Prix. What a season, what a race we have seen all the way through. And at the moment, well, you can certainly say Hardy may well have won the championship if he joined the season from the start. But what ifs do not matter here, and Rick looks the champion. Can he get the race win though? He's in the slipstream, but Dylan is hanging on. He's looking at that inside line. He's getting a little bit wary. Is the Red Bull. 5 laps to go, and Rick really starting to pull piling on now. He says right up the rear wing, but Dylan gets a great run through turn 2. Will hold on surely. Going down towards the Lago this time around. He will just about stay in front for the time being. Can he get this one to the flag without making any major errors? Still, close battles out there on track. Hardy trying to get up the skies. He cannot find his way past the Frenchman and the Mercedes. For the moment, the Ferraris are battling. Spag able to get past Maledictus, but he's some way behind the train in front now. This 2-stop strategy, well, 3-stop strategy technically just has it. No, sorry. I was right the first time. A 2-stop strategy they went with just hasn't worked out in the slightest. The soft tires just haven't produced the pace, particularly in the second stint, that we were maybe expecting. Tin Can back is still trying to line up right, but they've been stuck there all the way through. The progress looks to be very minute, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to make much progress. And you can see Hardy looking to the inside of Skyzy. Oh, losing the car! He runs into the grass there! Heading into turn 12, that's going to be Lando through. Ryan's going to get through as well, and Hardy now dropping down his right now, going down for the race lead. Right outside, and into the first corner. Dylan trying to hold that inside line. Is going to run it out, compromise. Rex lane, again a better Rex, and that's exactly what Dylan has done, but can he see it through with the overtake? Rex is going to fight this one all the way to the inside of the track, then round the outside. Dylan, can he see it off now? Can he get it done on the brakes here at turn 4? Brakes incredibly late and sees it off. Dylan reclaims the race lead after a fierce battle there, and that's the first real line we've seen from Rip, and he couldn't quite find his way through. Entertain battle at Racing Point now. It's down the inside. Goes Tin Can. Can he get it stopped and turn in? Ryan's going to pinch him in there and will keep in front. And now Baki lining him up towards Ferradura, runs into the back of the Racing Point. Just has to keep himself at bay for the moment there. Down in that 9th place. Tin Can still fighting tooth and nail for that one. Rick had a great run on Dylan, but Dylan set him up beautifully for a run out of turn 3. Rick couldn't hold it back. The Red Bull now leads 3 laps to go. Can he hang on to these last 3 laps?
That's a back race off into turn 3, but now Rick is closing up towards Red Bull. Can he for once make this one work? He's going to go towards the outside. The Williams, is he going to be able to make this one stick for now? Then he is looking like he has it for turn 2, but now Dylan comes back at him. Can he get it back? The arrest is open, overtake is open, towards the inside he goes, and it's looking like it's going to be the move stick. Yes, it is. Rick has to try again, looks for the switchback, but isn't close enough here.
Rick can't see it through just yet. Every move he's throwing an XL. Dylan has had an answer to emphatically and has held on to that race lead. Can he get it all the way to the flag? We have just 2.5 laps left here in Brazil. The battle of the race lead has been enthralling. Slash has pulled back a few seconds on these guys, but it is too little too late for the Alfa Romeo, who will be ruining that strategy call that put him out of the night race lead. He's had to try and fight back, but ultimately it looks like he's just going to run out of time to reel in your race leaders. That is going to be the headline battle as they head into the final 2 laps. Dylan looks to have enough of an edge now. Heading into turn 1, they're Rick with good closing speed, but he's going to hang back for now. Is that going to benefit him though? On the run towards turn 4, he's a little later on the brakes as Rick. Dylan parks it on the inside of turn 1 there, but it's a not good run through turn 2, and now Rick has a great chance there and trying to claim the net race lead. Dylan's going to move straight over to the inside line, but no, he's left the gap there. He goes middle of the road now, down the inside goes Rick, and he's going to break very, very late. Can he get it stopped? Turn 10, great exit for Dylan, runs into the back of the Williams now. They're going to go climbing off the hill to Ferradura, side by side almost, but Rick finally gets the move done. Look at this battle over 7th place though. Baki, Tin Can, Ryan, all of them into one. There's contact down there. Ryan gets tapped almost around by Baki, spearing over the turn by Neil Luigi, goes through round the outside. McCross gets through as well. Up into that 9th place drama there. They tried to go 3-1. They simply did not go. And in the end, Tin Can gets it from. He's got damage. Luigi trying to run around the outside. Cannot see it through. Into turn 9. Has to set back just for the time being, but Tin Can with wing damage, surely he's going to have to really struggle to hold on to that position. Over the front, the Rick has gone up the front and he's running with it. Then 1 lap to go in the season, 1 lap to go in Brazil. Can the Flying Fed cap off a championship winning season with a win? Can Dylan have an answer? Does he have an answer? No, he runs way through turn 2 and surely that's it. Rick power and clear now on the final lap of the season. It may well be a race winning drive and for a championship winning year. Now Neil Luigi leading the deal. Tin Can, can he get that one done on the bricks? And Tin Can has nothing to fight when they cross all the way around the outside. Brilliant move. Up into that 8th place. Tin Can off the road now. Let's move through. Heartbreak for Tin Can right at the end with that damage. Yellow's being brought out, of course, but Tin Can now down into 13th place. Ryan trying to get back to Micras, and that late battle. It is brave, it's bold, but it is not quite enough to see it through. It's not going to quite give him the possession. But let's cut up to the front, because Rick Urick, he's not had his own way this season. He has not won many races for a championship winner, but a championship winner he will be nevertheless. Powering now the Flying Finn. For so long a race win, and Eloise eluded him, and he's not only going to race win this season, he is going to bag all of the prizes. A win and a championship for Rick Urick. What a season he's put together. Dylan just run out of it. Has to settle for second, but one of his best races he's had in a while. This Slash will hold up for the podium. Scooter Race 7, 4th place to the line. Lando couldn't quite get up to Skyzy. Crossing 7th, Neil Luigi, one of his better races, actually 6th in the end with Lando's penalty. Ryan gets 8th, Backy 9th. Hardy crashes over the line. His championship charge just faltering right to death. Gary's 11th, Micras final points in 12th. Then Spag, Maledictus, Tin Can and Zonra will round off the finishers, and that is going to be a wrap. The season is concluded, and Rick is a race winner and a champion here in Division 2.
Yeah, amazing season by him, and he deserves a round of applause, really, by everyone. He has been so consistent and has been looking the favourite all season. Hardy was pressurising him towards the end of the season, but Rick does deserve this one, and he shows today why he did. He was outstanding in pace-wise and racecraft as well, very clean move on Dylan at the end, and held on towards that win. Perfect way to end it for him this season.
Absolutely, and that is capping off his championship winning campaign on the top step of the podium. Dylan, what a drive! Certainly the best I've seen from him really in the second half of the season, but it wasn't quite to be on this occasion, and he does have to settle for second. Slash again, what could have been for him coming in too early on that transition period from enters to dries really cost him a chance at running at the race win. I think he had better pace than pretty much everyone in the field today. He has to settle for third. Scooter Ray Seb, solid drive to fourth. Skyzy winning out really in that midfield battle, does get fifth place in the end. Neil Luigi sixth. After all of that, their Lando penalties drop him into seventh place in front of Ryan, and he, Backy, were really in the wars today. Hardy just had a bit of a nightmare out there. A fantastic season from Hardy, but couldn't quite pull it together in the last two rounds. Gary and then Micras rounded the points finishers. Then outside the points in the final race have Spag, Maledictus, Tin Can, Zonma, Packer, Bullet Boy Zayakar, Arcolo, and King Mark round off the finishers for the round off the drivers. I should say, not exactly the finishers, for the final race of the season. And yeah, that is going to be it then for this championship campaign. I'm going to see if we can maybe get Rick in here for an interview. I'm just going to ask around quickly, see what he is able to pull off. But yeah, Rick, a deserving champion, and let's see what he can do next season potentially. Yeah, that is going to be the end of another fantastic season here in Division 2. And in the end, the Flying Finn is your champion here in Season 4.
Yeah, amazingly done by him, and if you can try to get him in, that'd be absolutely amazing, because he has been outstanding this whole season and really deserves this one. It would be interesting to hear his thoughts as well.
Yeah, I'm just messaging him now. Oh my, I cannot speak English after that sequence of events. Yeah, I'm going to get him into the group. We'll see if he ends up joining the party in the end. Hopefully he does. It'd be great to hear his thoughts after, I've known Rick for a while, and he's always not been able to grab race victories. That was always something that eluded him in all championships he competed in. That was not to be the case this time around, and yes, he dominated these last few rounds, certainly. Drove fantastically all the way through, and yes, I'm sure a thoroughly deserving champion. Just inviting him now into the group. Hopefully we can get him and get his thoughts after that final race of the season. He had to really fight for it, but he does get the race win. And again, he had to fight for it, but he will come home with the championship for this season in D2.
Yeah, he definitely will. And just to mention, the Mercedes drivers of Scazy and Ivo Luigi have won the Constructors' Championship, so congratulations to them as well. Have to give a mention to that.
Yeah, I think though that was massively helped by M Short at the start of the season when he was winning pretty much every single race out there. But yeah, well done to both of those drivers coming home with the Constructors in the end. Superbly done from those guys then. Rick has just confirmed to me he's not going to be here for an interview, which is a bit of a shame, but yeah, I guess the fans, they don't exactly approve of the media, we understand, but yeah, that's going to be it then. Rick turns down the interview, but I don't think I can really blame him. He can go off and celebrate a championship win, and how well deserved it was.
It definitely was, and with that, I think it's all left to do but wrap this up. Thanks to everyone who has been watching throughout this season. Yeah, it's just been a really amazing season once again. LOE D2 always seems to deliver, and has this season. Any final words you have to say?
Yeah, just this division from Season 3 to Season 4 has just been phenomenal. I'm sure it's maybe not been so good for either of our voices over the course of this year of League of Europe Racing, but I've thoroughly enjoyed this, and I hope I'll be back in this division next season. We'll see how everything works out in the end, but yeah, fantastic action all the way through. Well done to all the drivers for putting on a show for us week in, week out, and I hope that our streams have matched up to that one. So yeah, just a round off from me. Great season, and I can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, definitely. We have no exact date at the moment just yet when that's going to start, but we'll have that information pretty soon, I've seen. So we're going to have to close off with that. I've been Verstappen, he's been Dake, and till next time.